Jan are both supporting the theme, supporting the idea that adults restrict the ideologies and the and the desires of the children. And let's meet in the next opportunity.
Next, I would like to call Saruan to present.
Good evening to you all. Now, in this debate, I am going to support the topic elders are always correct, children have to follow them. First, we saw about the Devigan statement. Devigan says that Jagan didn't give enough money to Mali, but in the story, Jagan gave 10,000 rupees for Mali in monthly, and also he gave extra money for his food in cantons. But Mali can't understand that his father give money to not enough for him. So he want a lot of money. He want more money to give something. So his father Jacob thought that his son attracted by bad works like addiction of drug. So these reasons, his father doesn't give money for his son. But Mali said openly that he can stolen the money from his own house. So how can a son say like this type? So I continue from my points. Um, for example, in this novel, Vendor of Sweets by K.Narayan, Jagan as the father, he likes his son become a person who get Bachelor of Arts degree, but Mali ignore his father's advice and leave himself from the uh, university studies and decided himself to become a writer. So can anyone can say the writer position is better than the degree of BA? No, the father's choice is the best decision that his son Mali get BA degree, and Mali and his whole family are Hindu. Uh, and Jagan is the traditional lover and an additional Gandhi follower. Uh, but when Mali went to America, he addicted to eat house meat. So any Hindu eat house meat in his life, and send a letter to his own father to why did our country people uh, why didn't our country people eat cow's milk for their meals? This way we can see that how Mali changed like a bad person by ignoring his father's advice. These incidents and also these incidents happened after the Mali's mother's dead. So we can also see that how a child become a bad guy by a death of a parent. Mm, so this incident, we can understand parents are the very important persons in our life. Um, so I finished my speech until this point. I will speech about this my after.
I would like to call Arunavi to speak.
Once again, good evening, everybody. Now I would like to continue my talking that parents are always right and children have to obey their parents. According to the Barnian, he says that parents or elders should not concern about the children, and children can do everything without the support of the support of the parents. I think he is viewing in his way like many youngsters in this society are thinking, and that's a problem. Why our society has changed very strange, and our society is containing many problems and many unwanted things in the society. And how can you tell that adults should not concern about the children? If they stop the work of the mentoring the students, and if the elders in the world stop the mentoring of the children, our world is like a soulless. In the forest, there's no tree. The forest is nothing, and here without elders, our children world is nothing, because as I told you earlier, I again and again emphasizes that parents have to be there for children, because they are supportive for the children's journey of success. And I observed that in Barnian speaking, he mentioned about the electronic machine, which he considered as very useful for Mali to produce many stories for India. And I think he's don't have any capacity to understand the real meaning of the story writing mission. As Johan is a traditional lover, he thinks in a way which is a creative way, and he do he created the book by his own experiences and own hand, and he gave it to the truth printing shop. But Mali wants to make his work easy, and he manufactures a story writing machine. It's not useful. The electronic story writing machine, it didn't have any capacity to give the right power of the author. So I think the opposite member is depending on the world of machines, only depending on the world of machines, and ignore the creativity of the handwork. And I think he's not clever enough to understand that our power will explore it fully when it comes to give our efforts. When we give our full efforts, our talent and our power will explode to the world. But here in the story, when the chapter of the story writing machine is concerned, the Mali is depending on the mechanical world, which can't give the enough, which can't explore the enough creativity of the individual. Here, the story writing machine is a machine from which anybody can create. There's no limit, there's no talent required for that. Anybody can create the story with the understanding of that machine. And in that occasion, Mali says that we can produce many stories than before, than ever, and he thinks that advantages in that machine. And I think it's the fault of our younger generation, who have inadequate capacity to understand the world and understand the practical things in this world. He only thinks that the story have to be produced to the Indians, and so many stories have to be produced. And here the Mali didn't have any great idea about the uh, value writing will explore when the author will give his enough power to that enough power to that characters and enough power to the story. But here the story writing mission's work is something different. It makes the work of the individual easy, and as younger generation is always thinking how to make our work easy, Mali also think like that. And by ignoring the father's advices also, he manufactures a story writing machine which can't give any useful to our world, and it decreases the true talent of the authors and individuals. And when we talk about the prose, the amazing prose, the nightingale and the rose, the young student who seems as not content with the support of the elders or parents, chooses the wrong path in his life, and in the final part of the story, he was betrayed by the girl who seems as possessed with many materialistic possessions. If the student will have enough support of the elders or the parents, he can escape from his destiny, and he can have a good choice. But as he didn't have good support to the elders, he chose a bad past in his life, and he chose the love which was contained and which was built with the materialistic possessions. So we have to understand that if we have to do anything in our life, we have to, our works requires the parents support, as parents always our mentors. And when we look at the look at the novel, we can understand that, as I told you earlier, the Mali faces many disadvantages because of his ignorance of the father's true advisors, and he thinks that it is not valuable, as today's opponent members are speaking like that. They are in this debate. I see that they are seeing the world of the adults in a different, in a strange view that help that didn't help them to understand the parents or elders point of view. So I'm looking forward my next opportunity to tell my feedbacks about the elders world, and my members will continue my speaking.
Next, I would like to call Banian to speak.
Good evening, everyone. As I am already mentioned you about the misunderstanding of the adults towards the childrens even in the poem, Devian also said, as who is our team member, also said that the leader in the fear, the mother always neglects the imaginative power of the daughter, who seem to be have the opportunity to be the queen and even the princess, who are the authoritative power in the whole society, who seem to be the higher class people. But the mother, who seem to be only concerned in his way, they says that he can't comb her hair, and she can't sleep with her in the steel bed, so that the mother neglects all the opportunities and blocks all the opportunities of the daughters, and try to be as a cowardly mother who tries to make his daughter imperfection. Because even though the in today's society parents are really poor, but the uh, children are seem to be richer than everyone in the society. It's that it is the successful in the life, because we should the children are more concerned about the materialistic values. And even in the opponent says that in the short story Nightingale and the Rose. In the Nightingale and the Rose, the girl who loves seem to be loving the young students. We know him as the professor's daughter. We don't know the exact name of the girl, because he we always think that the adults are always authoritative, so that we are saying that he is the professor's daughter, so that professors is concerned here as a profession who in his views says that he is a professor's daughter, so that we should thinks that they are the upper class. So the adults are not have the authority towards the daughter, and the professor should have maintained and they should have managed the whole problems of the girl and the young students. Because the in my perspective, I think that there is a fault in the professor daughter, because at the end she neglects the young student's life and the love. At the end, we know that, so that the professor should be the main reason why the daughter uh, seem to be have like acting like a immature person, and he only thinks about the materialism. So the process is the main reason for this conflict. So I strongly disagree the opponent's request as well. As Saruman says that the father doesn't understand, and he thinks that his son want to be a BA or a Bachelor of Arts in the future, and he should be teaching in a field of art. So that Saruran, as far as Saruran said, the fathers says, the Jagan says he wants to be a BA, make his life in a different way than a Bachelor of Arts or a traditional Hindu follower. Even he asked for money to go abroad for the America, he doesn't give any money. As Devigan also said about this money matter of the Jagan and Mali, you can also find this idea in a different way. It is ironic that even though the Jagan runs a sweet mart, he doesn't eat. He have written a book called Nature Cure. So that's why the tooth printing shop doesn't care about the Jagan's request and takes only the Mali's book written by. But the opponent's leader says that the story writing mission rejects all the imaginative powers of the young generation, and we are just concerning about the missions, and we are not humans. And he's in a metaphorical way. She is saying that we are just missions, not humans. So, but I strongly believe that in today's world, in this mechanized world, machines are the whole. We can't live without machines. Even in our home appliances, there are machines, and the Mali just introduced a new idea called story writing machines. Even in this society, there are artificial intelligence, and they seem to be the main reason why the world are improving day by day. So that I strongly disagree. The opponents say that the Mali story writing machine is an absurd way to stop the imaginative ideas, and they are blocking all the skills of the humans, and he thinks that the world is like a soul, and the adults are like a trees. Because I strongly disagree that, because even though the world is like a soul, the childrens are the little plants in years. They are even the trees will die in the soon, but the new plants, the children are lead the next generation to fulfill their needs, and the little plants becomes the tree in the future. So that we should be very concerned in the children's matter. There is a popular saying that little plants should be concerned, and they are the we should change the behavior in the young, and after that in the older we can't change anything. So that the children should be concerned, and they are, or their skills should be appreciated in this manner. And I strongly believe, and our team member Devi also supports this answer, the theme of generation gap and adults versus children as well. So I conclude my debate ideas by saying that adults are not always correct, and they misunderstand the children as well. Thank you for hearing. Let's see in the another opportunity.
Now I would like to call kindly to
all, I agree that the Banyan tale the storyteller machine is artificial intelligence, but the features of that are being like the same one of old mindset. In creation like arts, stories, they are meaning to you all. I agree that the tale of the Barnian, that's the artificial intelligence, artificial artificial intelligence, but that's not story writing and novel writing is not depend on um, depend on the own mind of own creation way of them. If a machine creates that, all stories, all novels are being like one. In the creation of Mali, there's many themes, bad, good, personification. But if a bad quality, he added some things only that will be prepared in every bad quality, every machine's bad qualities. Then we conclude this by then we show the elders are right by the poem. Contents in the poem mainly reveals that the fact that when son grows up, he feels like a man, but for his father, he is being like a baby or child. Father wants to keep him under his supervision, but the son thinks that he is matured enough to think independently and take decisions by himself. Here, of course, this appearance of father remains the radical between the son, but the father thinks that the son is don't know the world's or he didn't learn the world, so he want to teach by his experience. As an early person, he explains how life is built. It will take a long time to the external collects life experience. He would be able to make his life perfect. Therefore, he should not be in hurry. In the refrain of the world, people emphasize the idea that should be a hurry take decision because it would be affect his life. As I told, in the wave also, Sonali first behaved as a parent when she is a child of his mom. And that the incident is there is an unusual and very struggle situation was there, but he first think or and act to serve his children. In the way of their in the way of the running, she think about their parents, and she didn't stop her running for his parents. This shows here that every parents are very 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 much affection on his children first. In the beer also, Luca is an old servant, and the Simeno Popova is not a children, or there's their babies. But here the elders tale, elders' advice became the road. Here the Loka advises to Popoa to marry an army man in a camp, but he refuses that, and he told that he want to um, he want to be alone because he want to be live with his husband's memories. In the climax of the story, he has affection with Simono, and both of the are when both of the are being in a love, who was being like a bear. So I conclude my point with this. Elders are very experienced more than us, so they don't know about us, our mindset, what we need, what's the problem are being with us. So elders are right. So we want to obey their orders and their advices. We want to follow that. Thank you for listening me.
Thank you, Kavli. Now I would like to call Saruran to speak.
Good evening to you all again. I would like to say my points about the Banyan store. That Banyan told that we live with artificial intelligence or robots, but I like to ask him that is a human brain to be like a CPU? No, the humans are the owners of robots. No, that not robots are the owners of humans. So we can say that we have own brain for writing, but malice working is the robots are the writers of the Malice story, and also we saw that the end of the story of now novel Winter of Sweets, Mali was arrested by police and lived in prison 2 years. So we can show that how Mali ignored Jurgen's advice. This is that is the reason for this bad thing, and we can also see that how can a parents love his family and children by the poem of the clown's wife. In the clown's wife, in the poem clown's wife, the father is the only breadwinner of his family and underpaid person, um, but still he worked for his family and his children. uh, the teachers are the the fathers are the first teacher in our life. He says many advice for our life. For example, in the poem Once Upon a Time by Garlier O'Gara, the father says many advice for his son, and also we can see the Story Lumber Room by Saki, and he give him to eat bread and milk, but Nicholas get frog himself in the milk and say lying that already frog in the milk. After the aunt punished Nicholas to lock door in his room and said don't go out of this room, but Mali didn't ask his aunt stay and Senate he going out of the room and go to Lamper room and visit there. Uh, so I conclude my points until this point. The parents are the important persons in our life.
Next, I would like to call Devi Hen as a captain.
A warm good evening once again. And now I'm going to summarize our topic that adults are not right and they restrict the sun's imagine. All our opponents said, and they create the stories and machine writes and machine restricts the real story of the real writers. And it is obvious that in machines we type instead of writing, but the story remains same, the creativity and the content remains same. And machine, it is obvious that machine does not think by its own, and it has no sixth sense or no ideas. And there's no restriction or the uh, no cuttings of the real story of the real writers. Our opponents should understand and accept it. And moreover, as Barnajan said that the degree, the Mali doesn't want to get degree, and he does wants to live his life in another way. It is extremely correct that we can't say that the writer is writer work is worse than the degree. All the works are same in the society, and then our opponent should accept it. And as I told in the in the all of the context, the thing remains same. The adults just